So here's what I'm going to do. Because while I'm waiting for everybody to get situated, I'm going to tell my own quick little story. So this is my daughter. Well, she didn't know I was going to do this.
I'm sorry,
So
what?
she was about 4 years old, and my daughter was she has a growth. She's short. And so she was a very small little 4-year-old, and she was in the back seat. We were getting ready to go to school or something like that. And I had my son who was in the passenger seat, and Annie, my daughter, was in the car seat in the back, buckled in. And Elijah were pulling out of the driveway. And Elijah says to me, "Dad, I have a question for you. What would you rather have? Fame, fortune, or power?" And I thought to myself, that's a very intriguing question. Let me think about that. And before I could even come up with an answer, from the back seat, my daughter says, "Power." And I looked back, and her brow was furrowed down, and it was a little frightening. And Elijah said to me, "Your voice just dropped you off." And I realized that for someone who is shorter, for someone who's in a family where everyone kind of right at that point knows a little more than you do, can reach things that you can't, they're stronger, they're faster than you are, power sounds like a real good thing. All right, our next two storytellers are going to be Steve Wilson, who is going to tell a story about a New Year's resolution he made, and Catherine Zudak, who's going to tell a story of her brother. You ready, Steve? Come on up.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
As your program and my picture would suggest, I do stand-up comedy. And what I want to share with you just a little bit is how and why I got into doing stand-up comedy. I grew up in a very small town in the Upper Peninsula, and I was a little bit of a sheltered kid. I'm going to rephrase that. I was not a sheltered kid, but I did grow up in a sheltered environment, and I was such an extreme rule follower when I was a little kid that I refused to test the boundaries or venture out literally and figuratively. When I was a little kid, I was old enough to be out in front of the house, but I wasn't old enough to go all the way around the block. And my parents spray painted bright yellow lines on the sidewalk to let us know how far we could get. And when the neighbor boy got mad at me and threw my bike over that line, I ran home to get a parent to go across and that's the kind of extreme rule follower that I was. And I think that almost all little kids, boys especially, go through a phase where they really want to grow up and be police officers. I think that that's really common. And I think that most little boys grow out of that phase around 9 or 10 years old. And I grew out of that phase at the age of 25 after I graduated from the police academy and became a police officer. And I was not a police officer for very long, mostly because I wasn't very good at it. But I wanted to be a police officer because I wanted to help people. I think that there was a lot of good that I could do, and once I got onto the road, I realized that I was spending almost all of my time writing traffic tickets to people who were already struggling, and I didn't feel like I was helping anybody, and I didn't feel like I was making a difference, and it wasn't something that was going to be satisfying for me to do long term. So I'm not a police officer anymore, but I did really want to help people. So fast forward just a little bit to the end of 2016. It was New Year's Eve, and I was doing what I do just about every New Year's Eve. I was trying to write out my resolution list. And I do resolutions a little bit different than just about everybody else. What I do is I look back through the last year as a whole, and I try to find every piece of good things that I can pull out, and all the good takeaways, all the happy memories, lessons that I've learned, everything that I can, and I make an entire list of the last year and all the things that were good about that, ways that I grew to move forward. And then I look forward to the next year, and I try to make a list of everything that I'm excited about. Because I like getting excited about things, I'm a passionate person, I like having things to be excited about and look forward to. And this particular New Year's Eve, I was having a really hard time with that. And I really struggled, and I think a lot of it was because when I was looking back at 2016, I was doing a lot of using Facebook like a time machine, and just scrolling back in time. And 2016 was a rough year for a lot of people. We had just finished what was probably the most divisive political season that I had ever experienced. And so as I would scroll back through Facebook and look back through time, what I was seeing was a lot of really what looks like anger. People on one side yelling at people on the other side, and people on the other side yelling back, and the whole thing just gets tied up in a giant knot, and you cannot untie a knot that you're trying to tug a war with. And that was really difficult for me because I want to stress this a lot. I was not searching this out. I wasn't like reading political blogs, and I wasn't searching through various media outlets. These were people that I know and people that I like. And it was very difficult for me to see the amount of distress that people that I care about a lot were in. And so I struggled with that a lot because I didn't know what I could do. And what I really decided was that I didn't want to just add my voice into that already heated debate. One, because I didn't think that I had a unique voice to add as a straight, white, male, middle-class person in my early 30s. There's enough of me out there already. To me, throwing my voice out there wasn't going to make a whole lot of difference. So I really tried to struggle to figure out what I could do. And so I went to bed that night. The next day, New Year's Day, 2017, I found myself just watching a lot of YouTube videos. And I got stuck on a lot of stand-up comedy. It's something that I like a lot. And I had two very important revelations right at the same time. The first one was that comedy that's done well is a little bit like magic, in that you get a whole bunch of people together in one room, and they turn off their phones, and everybody is together in the same room for the sole purpose of laughing together. And when you can get that environment, when comedy is done well, then that's really a special experience. It's a little bit like the experience here tonight, in that it's really powerful. And my other revelation was, it doesn't look that hard. That I could do that. So I started thinking back to my life, those humorous anecdotes and things that get talked about and things, and I thought, I got good stuff, I have good material from the way that I grew up. And so I found a local open mic, and I went to it. And this open mic was a very small event. There was only 6 or 7 people there. Not 6 or 7 performers. There were only like 6 or 7 people in the room. And we took turns standing up one at a time and telling stories about, the way our childhoods are and all that. And everybody was really nice. And I had a lot of fun. And I got off of that stage, and I thought I was hilarious. Right. And so I went home, and I sent the recording to my sister, and she called me up, and she said, "You were great. You were hilarious. You were the best." But my sister's one of my allies. Everybody needs allies in life. The person that's going to have your back hard no matter what you do. So I wanted a second opinion. So I sent the recording to one of my business partners. And he gave me one of the most bizarre pieces of criticism that I've ever gotten in my entire life. He said, "Steve, you did stand up for 10 minutes, and you didn't have a single punchline. It's arguable that you didn't even tell a single joke." But you're a good enough storyteller that you could do it. And so I worked on my material. I threw a couple of punchlines in there because those are good things to have when you're going to do stand-up comedy for the second time. And I went back, and it was better. It was fine. It was terrible. Those early recordings are really tough for me to listen to. And so I took a little bit of a break, and I really tried to think about the voice that I wanted to have and the voice that I didn't want to have, because I decided right away that I didn't want to be shocking, and I didn't want to be vulgar. I wanted to have the type of humor that would be relatable to a lot of people. And the other thing that I thought was that I should start to bring more personal stories in. And so I thought of a couple of really funny stories from my time being a police officer, and I worked on some really good material. And I went back for a third round, which is this time. And I got to the venue, and right away I knew that it was going to be a little bit of a different event, in that it was packed. It was so filled, and tonally it was a little bit different from the first couple of times, in that the demographic of the crowd was different, and for the first time, at least for me doing comedy and kind of in general, I was an extreme minority in the room, and that's not an experience that I have growing up from a small town in the Upper Peninsula that I have very often. And I know that people deal with this every single day, and so it's a little bit rare for me to have to go through that. And they called the first performer up. He's a local comedian. He's very good. He got up. He was working on some new material, and it was brilliant, professional level, brilliant. And then they called up the second guy. He had recently moved to the Detroit area from Los Angeles, where he had worked in television. And he was a comedy writer for his entire career, and he was great. He told a story that was so funny that all I can tell you is just the premise. And it was about the time that him and Montel Williams got stoned, and then he wrote Montel Williams' wedding vows. It was brilliant. The third person got up, and he was not a comedian. He was a spoken word poet. And he did spoken word poetry that was so good and so powerful that he got a standing ovation. I don't know if you've ever been to a local open mic night, but if somebody does something so good and so brilliant that they get a standing ovation, the show should be over. We can all finish our beer and go home because nobody should have to follow that. And then the host of the night, Tori, got up, grabbed the microphone, and said, "Next up, Steve Wilson." I took the stage in the middle of somebody else's standing ovation. And while I waited for everybody to sit down, I looked out at the crowd. And it was at that point, for the first time, it hadn't occurred to me before that, but at that moment, for the first time, it dawned on me that me being a white, male, middle-class person in my early 30s, telling stories about my time as a police officer to a crowd that was very diverse might not be the best idea. But once you're standing on stage, it's too late to say that you're not there. So I had to go. I had to do my material. And so I got up, and I'm going through my whole set, and I got to the section on about my time as a police officer, and I'm going to do that joke for you guys now. So I was on the road for about 3 months, and dispatch calls us up and says, "Steve, we think that you have a call that you are actually capable of handling. This time, go to this address. There's a barking dog complaint." Well, I'm not going to let a disturber of the peace get away with that. There's a flying across town, it's lights and sirens. I got an action movie soundtrack going on in the back of my mind. Park a couple houses away, that's tactics. Looking down the foot. I have my eyes open, I have my ears open, I'm listening to this barking dog complaint. You have to pay attention. The partner taps me on the shoulder and says, "They're smoking weed at this house." And I said, "How can you tell?" And he said, and I went, "How can you tell?" That's a true story. There was a night that a police sergeant had to open an evidence locker and get marijuana out so that I could learn what it smelled like. But good news, I arrested the dog. So after the show was over, I was doing the thing that I normally do after a show is over, and I was hiding in the corner. And a lot of those performers that I was so impressed with started coming up to me and telling me that I did a good job, which was nice to hear. And I listened back to that recording, and it wasn't great, but it was better. And I don't know that I really made any progress in a grander sense. I don't know that we fixed anybody's problems or that I really helped anybody that day. But for that time that we were there, everybody turned their phones off and everybody laughed together, and that was an accomplishment. And so when I got home that night, I caused to do stand-up comedy off my New Year's resolution list for that year.